You want ridiculous?
Who didn't get that timeout right?
Mm.
Did anyone see the Raheem presser after the game? Yes, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it last night.
Honestly, guys, I think that's what made it worse for me, right? Because honestly, if Raheem just falls in the sword and says, look it, guys, I got it wrong. I messed up. It's on me. People are still pissed, but at least you can deal with it. But it's like you want to hide. You want to be like, well, I mean, looking back on it in hindsight, it probably would be best that I called. But, I thought also that we would get on the ball quickly and then I could save the timeout. And look, you're passing the buck. The buck stops with you, Raheem. You have to be accountable. You did not call the timeout. It is solely and squarely on you, and you cost us. You cost us. And I think that, I'm not going to say I wasn't upset. I sound like Ladarius right now. I'm not going to say I wasn't upset.
I can't wait to hear from Ladarius, but this is pretty hilarious.
I've been on the show 5 minutes, and you're already, you know what?
I got to do it.
No, he was giving you a props.
I can't tell the difference between him because he's always negative toward me. I don't know what positive looks like.
Ladarius, Terry has joined our side today.
I just missed you. Ladarius. But in all seriousness, that is inexcusable. You can't. It's like if you're I'll put it this way. Quick story. Where I grew up, there was a hill on top of a hill on top of a hill that decrescendoed or descended into a cul-de-sac, which means if you started at the hill, like my little brother Victor Wilson, who just did not listen to shit I said. Good morning, Vic. I love you, by the way. By the time you hit our street, you probably hit our street at 30 miles an hour, right? Why do I bring that up? Well, there's a kid I grew up with, Jason Jarvis. And Jason, wherever you are, God bless you. I don't know if you'd mind me sharing this story. Anyway, Jason's coming over to see my best friend, Kip. We are down in the cul-de-sac playing a football game. We're probably 12 years old. And if you know anything about cul-de-sac football, it's involved. It's like the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't lose, right? We're in the middle of a game, and all of a sudden we see Jason Jarvis hauling ass. He had to be going at least 37, 38 miles an hour, hauling ass on a 10-speed with no shirt and shorts. Now, if you know anything about those 10 speeds back in the day, when you tried to stop them at high speed, what happened? The brakes
flipping over.
So his brakes locked. He has on no shirt, and he goes airborne.
He said,
when I tell you what I saw could make grown men cry, he left a trail of his skin from here all the way down the top of his shorts.
Oh,
and when I say a trail of skin, I mean a trail of skin. It was a bad scene. Now, why do I bring this up? Because Raheem's interview last night was like taking Jason Jarvis inside and pouring alcohol all over his depleted epidermis. Like it would have just made it 110 times worse. Can you imagine all your flesh gone and somebody says, here, let me put some alcohol on it. You're going to stroke out or die or kill them. One of the three. And that was akin to Raheem's interview last night because he was so laissez-faire, right? He was so casual about it. He just, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have. In hindsight, I really reminded me of my dad. My dad was never wrong about anything. So he could have jacked you up and he would have, in hindsight, Terry, maybe I was wrong. Maybe you didn't steal the cookies. Maybe I shouldn't have beat your ass for 15 minutes, but whatever. I'm sure you did something or you're going to do something sweet. So there you go. Que sera, sera. And that incensed me because I felt like, Raheem, you had an opportunity to own it. So right now, guys, and right now, Chris, A1, Ladarius, Chris, you saw the interview. Give me your thoughts. Well, just give me what you thought about the interview. Just give me your thoughts.
Well, in the honor of Mr. Ladarius Brown. I'm gonna be brief. I'm getting right to it. I'm just gonna get right to it, man. It was deflecting. It was a very deflecting interview. I feel like he did not own up, not only as a coach, but as a man.
Mm.
Um, and you know what I'm saying, there's no disrespect or anything like that, but just in the real world, it just like it's really kind of cut and dry. There, you know what I'm saying? We make gray areas, but it's a lot of cut and dry. My thing is, if you handle your business on the field, if you handle your business as a coach, handle your business player, you know what I'm saying? If you just do your job, you know what I'm saying? You let the chips fall where they lie. Last night, you did not fully do your job. You did not. You let. My thing is, I was making jokes, but I was making jokes to make myself feel better because of the disappointment I was feeling. But I was asking people. I said, "Hey, man, did you get your timeouts? Because Ross saved us some."
Sorry.
I mean,
He was
I'm
doing
just nah.
Hey, I think we talked at 2 in the morning, and I was like, it just pissed me off even more. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it just like my thing is, there's no excuse for it. What I'm saying is, as a head coach, if Raheem Morris was a first year head coach, would I be mad? Heck yeah. But at least you can kind of try to find some grace in it. But like, man, he's a rookie head coach, man. He don't know. He gotta figure it out. But Rod has been in the league for years. He's been a head coach. He's been an assistant everywhere. You know, coordinator on both sides of the ball. You've seen a lot of football. Seen a whole lot. So I just don't understand with 36 seconds. Darnell Mooney caught that pass with 36, no less than 35 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
By the time the ball was snapped again, it was 16 seconds left. So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is, and then okay, I'll play a little devil's advocate. I'll do that for you. Let's just say, at the 36-second mark, right? Okay, you thought that everybody was going to rush to the line and all that stuff like that. My thing is, as a coach, as a human being, if it's me on the sideline and I see that we're not getting to the line, the clock will not get past 26 seconds before I'm like, timeout, timeout, timeout.
Right.
Because we just not moving fast enough. I'm going to give my team ample opportunity to do it. 16 seconds is a lot of time, but just imagine what you could have done with 26 seconds, 28 seconds. Heck, just imagine what you could have done with the whole 36 seconds left.
Yeah.
We could have possibly got it closer. It was a desperation kick. Yes. But why was it a desperation kick, Raheem?
Because you
Why
wasted
was it a desperation kick?
Because you wasted 16 seconds, damn it.
I'm just saying, I'm just being real. Like, if you had more time, you have more options. You had 2 timeouts. You still had 2. You had 3 timeouts in the first half. So you had a total of 5 timeouts as a head coach experience that you didn't use. That is terrible clock management, and there's no excuse for it. I don't care how you shape it. I don't have no gripe with Raheem Morris, the person, anything like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Raheem ain't going nowhere. But this right here is just so sour. Like I told T Will last night, I said, bro, the feeling and the taste in the mouth that this gives is like skunky beer.
It is beer. It is
Ooh.
bitter. It is so bitter. It is so bitter.
This is so terrible because, bro, like we had it. Not only did we have it, we had them. Even after the D'Angelo Malone penalty, even after failing to score in different aspects of the game, even though Michael Penix overthrew some passes, people can. I said this last night to T. Will. People can try to blame it on whomever they want to do. It doesn't. Whomever you want to blame this on is cool. But my thing is, what negates everything that happened in that game last night was the fact that you did not call no timeouts to give yourself an opportunity to possibly get closer for the kicker.
100%. 100%.
I mean, you just don't know what would have happened. You got that long pass to Darnell Mooney. You call a timeout right there. You still got 35 seconds to do whatever.
Yeah.
And it just, my thing is, you could have won it in regulation. Riley Patterson did the best that he could, but the thing about it is, guess what? If that kick was, I still believe if it was 5 yards closer, Riley Patterson at least barely gets it, and we win that game.
100%. 100%. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Do a little housekeeping, ladies and gentlemen.
This is it right here from Antonio. Just the arrogance, the arrogance and the deflection.
Raheem is more arrogant than Arthur Smith was and has zero accountability. Raheem is only a win away from being better than Arthur Smith. Let's talk about that for a second.
I said
I think that press conference last night, by not owning it, was arrogant. And again, I'm not trying to come for Raheem. I like Raheem. I like Raheem. And I'm not being negative for the sake of being negative. But we have to hold everybody accountable. And that press conference last night, my impression was, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, well, yeah, in hindsight, maybe I could have, but I also thought we'd be quicker and I'm like, don't pass the buck on the offense. That pass was 26, 28 yards. There's no way you could have thought that. There's no way you could have thought that our offensive line, with all the big uglies we got, there's no way you could have thought that. If that was a 10-yard pass, that's one thing. That was a 20-plus yard pass. It was going to take them 12 to 15 seconds, which it did to get down there. The move is to call a timeout. Anybody knows that. To quote the great Ronnie Thomas, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could see that. So to do that and then double down in a press conference and be like, well, in hindsight, I could have. I gotta be honest, I felt like that was arrogant as hell. I felt like you're just saying, well, hey guys, deal with it. And I hope what he learns from this is there are moments to be cute. There are moments to be entertaining. There are moments to defend your position. But then there are moments where you just got to fall on the sword and be accountable. Ladarius, you've been waiting patiently. Chris, I'm assuming you pretty much got out what you had to say. Is that right, brother?
Yeah, that's why I said I ain't want to. I actually went a little bit further than what I wanted to, but the situation kind of calls for it. But yeah, I ain't want. Yeah, I pretty much that's pretty much where I was at with it.
Understood. Ladarius, tell us how you feel about that call, about not calling timeouts. Just tell us how you feel this morning, brother. And good morning, by the way. You're muted, Ladarius.
You're muted, brother.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah,
all good.
And we'll be right back. No,
hold on. I know what he's waiting for.
Timberland, you can learn from that. You can learn.
I probably could. You're probably
right.
You
could. No, not could. Can. Now, anyway. Two different words, two different meanings. Well, good morning, chat. Good morning, you guys here in the conversation. Like I said, I'm just gonna be quick and brief here. Look, at the end of the day, the press conference to me, it not only showed arrogance, it not only showed a lack of accountability. To correct Terry, like I don't like to correct Terry on this show. I don't know where that misconception always comes from, but he did have a certain laissez-faire approach at that press conference. It's like reporters are asking you questions, legitimate questions, on why you lost the football game.
Yep.
And it's like, well, yeah, we could have. Here's the problem. It was the first and the second half, because I watched that first half and I'm like, surely he's going to call a timeout.
Right.
I understand. Listen, when you're playing a team like Washington, when there's everything on the line, I understand you going for 3. I understand it. But why not go for 6 against a great offense against like Washington? Mm-hmm. Washington is not a slouch. You in situations you can go for 3, in situations you go for 6, and you could have went for 6 given the way the offense was flowing at the end of the first half and even in the second half. and to Chris's point, the Darnell Mooney play, too much time ran off the clock.
Yep.
Listen,
Yeah.
those you can't take those timeouts. I don't know whether he thought those timeouts you could just take with you, like take them home and save them, as a bonus or anything.
Ain't no rollover timeouts.
Exactly. If that was the case, listen, when I played college football or Madden, I could sure use a couple of rollover timeouts.
Right.
But when we're talking, and then when he went to the press conference, it was the arrogance, it was the lack of accountability. It's like, look, and to be clear, listen, like Chris said, and I went on Twitter and said the same thing. Raheem Morris will be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons in 2025. And let's be super clear, he's not going anywhere. Because I always ask this question: if you fire Raheem, who can come in and do better than what he did?
Yeah.
Who can you hire? Right? I'm not saying listen, Raheem is far from a terrible coach. It's just his play calling, and this is not the first instance of this happening.
No.
Right. Yeah, all season.
So the penultimate thing is, if you fire Raheem, who could bring in and fix this? And the answer is no one, because you'll be in the same situation with another head coach.
Wouldn't be no continuity.
Right. Listen, Arthur Smith got 3 seasons. Okay. We had 3 seasons of Arthur Smith. Whether we wanted it or not, we got 3 seasons of Arthur Smith.
Yep.
Arthur Blank doesn't feel like the type of guy to fire a coach after year 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the track record doesn't make me believe he's going to, to fire Raheem. The problem is that will there be change in his coaching staff? I believe that there should be, because at the end of the day, 2 rookie coordinators, and at some point you're like, no, Raheem, I'm like Terry. I think Raheem is a good person. I don't think he's terrible. Like I tell people this: listen, you can not like someone, but you can not like someone, but I'm not going to knock I'm not going to say they're terrible at their job, because I can think of other people who are worse at the same job. How do I know that? Because they don't have that job. Raheem's not a terrible head coach. It's just this is not, like I said, this is not the first instance of this happening. And listen, everybody's emotional. Listen, this was a game. This was our season. And I understand the emotion, and I understand on the other, the vitriol that came after that game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I say at the end of the day, and like I say, Red says no change in the coaching staff. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But like I say, but the not to take up too much time, but to simply say this: Raheem has to understand this is not a joke. You had 2 instances in this game to push the ball down the field and to put 6 points on the board. The lack of clock management cost you. I said at the end of the day, there's no excuse. And I believe in that first quarter, I believe he threw a pass to Darnell Mooney as well in that first half, if I'm not mistaken. It was, I forgot. It might have been Darnell. I'm not sure. But it was the same situation as it was in the second half, where you settled for 3. Listen, Red, respectfully, here's the thing. We could sit here and, okay, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to stop talking. I'm getting a little heated now. Here's the thing.
It's going good.
Red, should he understand? Yes. But Red, at the end of the day, he's not going to get fired. And like you said yourself, Red, he's not going to get fired. But he has to understand, because Red, he doesn't understand. He doesn't get that this season had expectations that we as fans had. I don't know what the hell his expectations were entering the season, but we as fans had expectations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I still feel that he still doesn't understand that. And that press conference showed that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
I'm not trying to yell at you, Red. I'm not trying to yell at you. Because when I see caps, I automatically assume it's yelling. So
let me say this.
I think it
makes he said I'll run this out. That was his expectation.
He essentially he coached scared.
Right.
Mhm.
So scared.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Yes.
coach.
And Dan Quinn was coaching like his life was on the line.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Dan Quinn, I believe Dan Quinn had something to prove last night.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, y'all fire me? Okay, I'm finna show y'all how better I got as a head coach. I'm
Well,
finna suck it to you."
I honestly, Ron, I think what's sad, right, is it was there. And look, I'm not advocating firing Raheem.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I will say this. Raheem had way more talent than Arthur Smith ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, one. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Now that's a one thou wow right there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not
and
mad
I
at
just wanted
the
to finish
talent.
my point. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
hold on, Ron. You could make the argument that talent was mismanaged. Whether you
Yes.
want to say you held on to Kirk Cousins too long, whether you want to say you were too stubborn and letting Jimmy run the kingdom for way too long, whether you want to say the clock management, the mismanagement of this team cost us at least 3 games. Now, you want to make a case for firing, that's it. And I'm not saying it should be. Okay? I'm not saying I'm not saying that. I believe our job as, I'm not going to call us analysts, but as content creators and as podcasters is to present both sides. I
Mhm.
don't want him to be fired, but I could understand Arthur Blank looking at him and Arthur Smith and saying, really, Arthur Smith, you never really had a quarterback. Yeah, you made boneheaded decisions. Yeah, you did this, but you never had the level of talent that Raheem started with. Also, and hold on, in Raheem's inaugural or his initial address, he says, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for quarterback play, and you barely escaped the Raiders by the skin of your teeth, and you really shouldn't have, because you probably should have gone to the rookie game 9 or 10, and you didn't.
Yeah.
So your decisions, and at the end of the day, and Ron, I'm not being loud with you.
Right.
I want you to know that. I'm not getting loud with you. I'm just passionate right now. At the end of the day, and I love Raheem, right? I love, even though I'm giving it to him today, right? Chris, where's the
Right.
shotgun? Where's the machine gun, Chris? Where is it?
Yeah, man. You already know.
No. My name, not Chris. You don't say that.
John Rambo. Hey, real quick.
It's cost us. Go ahead, Chris.
Real quick. I just want to add to what Ladarius's point about, some Raheem Morris and everybody else's point who sees it from this point of view about Raheem being our head coach. Yes, Arthur Smith got 3 seasons, right?
Right.
Raheem Morris is at least going to get 2. At least 2. For one reason, guys, we got to remember, and we're upset with Raheem. We are right now. But we still have to remember Raheem Morris in his first year as a head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, we still have 8 wins. What on what planet, in what universe does a owner fire a guy who has 8, possibly even 9 wins at the end of the season? What owner does that?
When you should have had 11.
I'll wait.
Right? So look it. If you tell me, if I say C-Dub, I'm going to give you this Ferrari, and I say Ladarius, I'm going to give you this Honda Accord.
What? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Probably. And you guys race, and C-Dub, you beat him by like the length of a bumper.
Yeah.
You should be fired.
Well, being attacked
Because
on a Monday.
you have a team that is capable of far more. Look it. I'm not saying that Raheem, again, guys, I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm saying I understand the level of thinking that says he should. I'm not saying I agree, but an intelligent mind can consider 2 opinions that are diametrically opposed.
What?
That's what I'll word, y'all. That's a college word. No, in all seriousness, and I know it. I know. If I was on the Darius show, he would mute me.
Mm-mm.
No, but in all seriousness,
Oh, that's a college. Go keep talking.
I can look. I'm not saying it
I
should
went
be
to Harvard.
fired.
I know words. All right, just keep.
I'm not saying it should be fired. I'm just saying I understand the sentiment. I can see both sides. I can see why you wouldn't fire him in the first year, but I can see a legitimate case to do that because what he did was akin to being at a law firm and having a layup, slam dunk defense, and your client gets 6 years in prison. Like folk get
My
sued.
bad.
Yeah, and I feel that too. And I feel that too, T Will. Like honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like I'm just saying like what's going to happen. We know, well, we don't know anything. Nothing is for certain, but we can figure. We can, you know, what I'm saying like we can figure that this man is not going to be fired. This man is going to be here. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I would be surprised. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this first. Do I want change? I mean, maybe position coach, maybe different coordinator, who knows, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I think is what's best is to have everybody work together to get better together, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah.
everybody to gain some continuity, to try to come back and build off of this season. First season we've had 8 wins in quite some time. Now it stings, it sucks. We should be better than what we are, but we have to look at the reality of things and see, hey, look, we are a team that possibly may have 9 wins this season. Did we make the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not. Should we have made the playoffs? Abso-freaking-lutely. You know what I'm saying? But different things happened this season. Now, there are things that's happened this season that are fireable offenses. There are things that has happened this season that other franchises, different owners, Raheem might not have would have had a long leash like that. But we just know for the Atlanta Falcons, and we're talking about just solely the Atlanta Falcons and how business is done in Atlanta, Raheem will get more time. The coordinators most likely will get more time. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, the biggest question mark for me is, will Terry still be here or not? Everybody else, I'm pretty much like, all right, they're going to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of we still got wins. But will Terry still be here? Will anybody's head roll after this season? Because long shot to make the playoffs, and we got to depend on our most hated rival to do something for us. That's crazy work to be in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, fam.
Yeah, put me in. I need to be in the center because y'all. I mean, dear Lord, sugar plums. Y'all. I believe. Ra's a great guy. Yeah. All right, look, I'm about to bust this pimple that people have here. Number one, these are the many flaws of Raheem Morris. Number one, not having his team ready to play the Saints game. Remember how I told everybody, at least play with a mentality of you need to win this game like it's a playoff game. What did Ross say? It's all right. We got this. Lolly, lolly, la. We lose. Starts the losing streak. Also, inability to coach big games. You hold 5 timeouts in your pocket, 3 in the first half, 2 in the second, when you need to make plays. Piss poor clock management. Done. We just saw it. Going to 9 weeks later than he should have, with going to basically Penix 2 weeks later than he should have. OCDC hire, because these guys, I have more, I have a more facial hair than those guys combined. All right. Now, not playing 9 in the preseason. Remember that? Because we only played him in 1 game, but that's all we needed to see. I'll get back to that point. these are, and then, wearing capris, but we know how Ron feels about those pants.
Yeah.
Those are things a second-time head coach cannot get wrong, but he did. Now, the other thing I want to bring up, he did coach this team with assistants that had experience, but yet he wanted his guys. He wanted his quarterback. And look how they looked. And then not just that. I'm going to tell you he sabotaged Michael Penix because you only played him in one preseason game. We all were at the content creator meeting, and we all were wondering why Penix wasn't playing. Oh, I don't want to get the first string or the second string hurt. What? And I even said, this doesn't sound like a coach that wants to win, or at least wants to develop, wants to get guys the most you want from these guys. Raheem has shown all he is a defensive coordinator. Because that game, he was peeing down his leg. And I'm sorry, my thing is this. You talk about accountability. You have Mike Tomlin talking about how, a man that keeps people accountable. At this point, no. I'm sick of it. And by the way, everyone's like, well, you can't fire. Why not? Arthur Blanks is sitting there maybe looking, going, I didn't hire my guy. And I let you make this decision, Terry. And all we got was one win better after we started 6-3 with the high-paid quarterback. And now we need the Saints to help us get in the playoffs. And we have to beat Little Bryce. At this point, I am so... It's like this. I hear what everyone's saying. Will Arthur Blanks do it? I honestly don't know, but here's my thing. I want him to, because I want Arthur Blanks to actually hold people accountable.
Yeah.
I want Arthur Blanks to actually go, no, we want to win. We're tired of always being the butt of the jokes. I want to make sure, and look, I get continuity, but guys, if the continuity sucks, why do we want to keep these same coaches? We think they're going to get better? They're going to get the Coaches for Dummies playbook, and they're going to go, oh, that's how you coach. No, they ain't happening like that. And here's the other thing. What if Arthur Blanks and Terry's like, Rod, you need to let some of these guys go? Is Rod going to be that guy that goes, no, if they go, I go?
Right.
Excuse me? And then here's my thing. I'm looking at him going, no. Look, you don't understand. Your mouth, and I can't. I've been hammering this all year. When he started talking about how, well, if I wasn't here, if we had better quarterback play, I wouldn't be here. Okay, you had better quarterback play. You only got one win better. With a roster, and Terry, you brought this up about the Ferrari and the Honda Accord. This is the best you can bring up. So now my question, and one or two, but my question is this. Is this team really in a better place? Because we just talked about how we may have to cut guys and how this team's going to look a lot different. We may have to cut Kirk Cousins. Oh, wait a minute. If we cut Kirk Cousins, how much is that dead cap? Wait a minute. Who wanted Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Who caused that dead cap? We're going to look at Terry, but we got to look at Rob because that was the elite processor he kept boasting about, but that was more like a 91 MacBook that, you had to blow the dust off and smack the screen to actually work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, everybody wants a coach that's accountable. When you watch those games, who watched the Bengals and Broncos game?
I did.
Okay. Who watched the Arizona and Seattle game?
I did.
Notice how the coaches were running up and calling timeouts, getting their guys in the best position. You had your hands in pockets, whistling Dixie. I don't know what Rob was doing. And to watch how that looked, and you're looking at Sean Payton, who's definitely old, but he's going up and down the sideline, calling timeouts, getting those guys in the spot. And it's not just him. Dan Campbell does it. Every coach does it. If your quarterback's not calling the timeouts, your head coach is, and your head coach is right there by those referees. And I don't want to hear that Ra's not healthy, because we all see how he's like runs up and likes to hug Mr. Blank from behind, and wants to smile and kiki, but yet he can't go and just do this number.
No Diddy. Pause.
Yeah, no Diddy. I'm sorry, no Diddy. But my thing is this: there is, and you got to have an expectation of winning. You got to have an expectation of actually wanting to be better. And Raheem, if you look at the raw facts, I don't think he deserves another chance. I'm sorry. He was here the 1 year after Quinn. And then he comes over this year. He wanted his guys, got his coach, or got it, not just his coaches, but got his quarterback. And he held on to Kirk Cousins. And that's another thing that none of us has brought up. Who's the one that got Penix to start? I really have a hard time believing it was Raheem saying, these last 3 games, let's start the kid.
See, Dub, I believe that was all from the upper room.
Me too.
I do too, but I'm voicing it because it's like this. I get everyone saying, well, look, Blank, or he won't do that. He won't look. What I'm saying is, don't underestimate the power of when you do, like Ron knows, if you talk enough crap, but you can't back it up, there's a point you got to look at that person and go, man, get out of my house.
What?
And Ra is that person right now. I'm going to ask this question. Yeah, we should beat Carolina. Would you be shocked if little Bryce came here and beat us?
I wouldn't be, if for nothing else. If we go in at halftime and the Saints are up 35-0, you're probably not going to get the best effort. So that wouldn't surprise me. No. But guys, we got to shift gears here. So
I'm sorry. It was eating me up, and I apologize.
Good. It's all good. We appreciate your opinions. We value you. Ladarius, are you out there, brother?
Well, I'm telling you though, family. Like I like C Dub broke it down real good, and what I'm saying, shout out to you, C Dub, just because you've been watching it the whole season, and this is not. It'd be different if this was the only gripe that you have really had with Raheem Morrison this season.
Yeah.
It's decision making and everything, but this is not the first, second, or third offense. It's different things you can find throughout the season. Different things you can find throughout press conferences, everything like that. The first strike for me was the whole thing about the stats were for losers. I just fell over when I heard that. I was like, wow, okay. But it's different things you can pick and choose. But Raheem, like I said, we gave Arthur Smith that time, and he did have less talent, to Arthur Smith's credit. But you can't just think that we just gonna go away from that just from what we've seen until our ownership now, and I'm just talking as a fan now.
Yeah.
Until our ownership shows us that that he is fed up, that he wants to see change, that he's gonna do it his way for a change instead of advisors and everything like that. Until we see that, we have to know, not think, know that everybody will be back next season. And it may not necessarily be a bad thing if from a continuity standpoint. People can get better, but people can get worse. That's the double-edged sword to it. But yeah, you got to learn from your mistakes. That's the end of it. That's growth. That is the definition of growth, being able to make a decision, and no matter what happens, live with it, grow from it. If it's a bad decision, take the accountability. Just as men, period. Now I'm finna get into something different. Just us as men, period. Us as the man species, we have so much accountability that we have to account for in life. In life, we ain't even talking about football no more. In life, as a man, we have to be accountable for the decisions that we make. And if it work, hey, hooray. But if it don't, we got to man up and say, I messed up and stand on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not just sports. It's just a man thing. As a man, you messed up last night. Own it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mid.
No, I'm just saying, just own it. That's all. Just own it, bro.
And the other thing is this, and I think the guys will also kind of feel the same. Even if Rock comes back, are you going to believe all the hype he'll talk? Because he'll talk. Put that microphone in front of him, and he'll,
This
But
point,
I mean, the question: How are you gonna feel?
We got to shift, guys. Sorry, Ladarius, Fact or Fiction. It's on you. What you
Sorry,
got?
Back to fiction. I like this one.
Oh yeah. I didn't finish my other point from the other thing, but it's okay. Okay. Yeah.
Are we laughing or clapping?
Both.
Laughing, clap.
If it's C-Dub, it's clapping. If it's T-Will, it's laughing.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Oh, hold on.
See, that's why he be calling you Timberland. That's why he be calling you Timberland right there.
Hold on.
Yeah,
We got T-Will's spot. Hold on. We got it for him right here.
No, actually, it's. But
Oh man,
You gotta make room for him.
and here I must be outdated. I was gonna give T-Will the wow.
That's giving him too much.
Somebody's it. Somebody's
bronze.
Well, I was gonna get the TV.
Ron the machine gun
wow.
over there.
Everybody's giving it the T-Will. Pause. All right, Ladarius, what you got? Fact or fiction? What you got?
That is the worst transition. You know what? Why the hell do I show up? I show up.
Back to fiction. Back to fiction. With Ladarius.
T-Will, stop.
I'm dancing to fact or fiction. What are we doing?
What I'm doing is telling you to stop dancing. That's what I'm telling you to do. Stop.
God, man.
Oh boy, good old beard game.
Oh wow. What you got, Ladarius?
Take over the point of the segment, and I gotta do anything to nerve it. Like a pay. Anyway, sorry.
No breakfast.
Listen, don't get me started on that.
Oh,
but anyway, fact or fiction, folks, and those for the chat as well.
Yeah.
Just straight up, I'm just gonna come out and say the Atlanta Falcons will make the playoffs. Is that a fact or is that fiction?
Fiction.
I'm going to go with it's a fact that is fiction.
I like what you did there, Chris.
Me too.
It's a fact that is fiction. That's where I'm going.
I like that. Thank you, Chris. C-Dub,
no problem.
Ron, and all right, so we'll go to our second one here.
This guy, man.
Oh, did you have something to say? Yeah, because you never let me talk. So yeah, no.
Say, go ahead.
Yeah, what a surprise! I'm so shocked.
This dude right here.
Shook it. Fact or fiction? The Atlanta Falcons will finish the season with 35 sacks this year, and to put in the context, we have 31 sacks entering Week 18. So the Falcons will finish with 35 sacks this year. Is that a fact or is that fiction?
I think that's a fact.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah.
I think we can get 4 sacks on Bryce Young for sure.
I think we either get 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting on C-Dub.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking. If Chuba Hubbard was playing, I would actually say fiction, but I'm going to say fact. I'll join you guys. I'm going to say fact.
Once again, C-Dub, Ron, Chris, great job. Now, is there somebody else? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh wow.
Right, next question. The Atlanta Falcons will win the NFC South. Is that a fact or is that fiction?
That's fiction.
Fiction.
You know, it was a show that came out years ago called Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Yeah.
And this is a big old fiction.
I used to like that show because the guy hosted it was on Star Trek. That's I used to like that show.
Yes. And
what his name was? Jonathan
Franks.
something. I forgot. What was his name? Jonathan Franks.
Jonathan Franks. Okay, because I couldn't remember the man's name either. I just said the guy.
He was like, you betcha. And he's like, I don't think so. That's like good stuff. He
And
understood.
remember real quick, remember when they changed him? Remember he wasn't like the host no more, and it seemed like the show just died after that.
Yeah. It's like when it's like it didn't feel right. Like the same energy. It's like the content was great, but the energy wasn't there. It just like it was like the other guy like, oh, like nah, pal, go pay go Lieutenant Tracker, go pay him, and then we can do it. But it's great. Hey, you know what? Once again, all of you guys contributing, and I guess Timbaland, I guess. Now,
this guy.
Oh, now he doesn't even know my name. You see,
this guy. Go ahead, man. You gotta go ahead, bro. You got a lot. It's a lot in this one. What you
oh
got?
yeah, I didn't write it, so yeah, you just put all the work on. Yeah,
there's
a constitutional law about working. It's like I'm not. It's constitutional law. That's the wrong segment. Now, that's the wrong show. Wrong show. Staying with the theme of playoff, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will make the playoffs. Is that a fact? Or is that fiction?
That's fact.
Facts.
Fact.
Oh, Boulder Dash. Fact.
At least it's not the Saints.
Oh wow.
You know what? Chris, I like it, Chris. A nice college level, or you talk to people. Unlike some people on the show, you talk to people, you write to the people, and I appreciate that, Chris.
Man, no problem, man. Just trying to do my part, man.
And you're doing a great job. Listen, there's some people who is the caboose. I'm not going to say who, but who really brings it down. But hey, you're doing great. Like I say, C-Dub, Ron. Listen, I'm talking, sir. Now, cut his mic. Now.
Oh wow.
We really love each other, y'all.
Oh, wow.
By the way, C-Dub does not speak for me. Now,
okay.
He speaks for one half of the people in that conversation.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, shifting gears, keeping it going. Raheem Morris will be the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons next season. Once again,
I'm gonna say fact. I'm gonna say fact.
After everything that I just said, I got to go fact. Until Arthur Blank comes in and taps me on the shoulder and says, "No, son, fiction." Until that happens.
I would say that.
Yeah, man, Raheem gonna be here, y'all. I mean, whether you hate him or love him, I mean, my thing is like he's not trash. I've seen head coaches worse than him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
yeah.
Hey, Bobby Petrino, we're talking to you, pal. We're talking to you.
I'm talking about looking him dead in the eye when I'm saying that.
Definitely.
Hey, what about Petrino? We're talking to you, pal.
Definitely
talking right to you.
Leaving a letter. What kind of man are you? What is this? Love Actually? No, we don't do that around here.
100%. 100%. Agree with you.
Most evilest man in the world.
Mm-hmm. I feel like him and Jeff George would have been a match made in heaven. But I'm gonna move on.
No, you know what, Chris? No, that feels right. That feels right.
That feels very
Hey, Jeff George, if you're watching, that goes for you too, pal.
Oh wow.
2 first names, pal. We don't know.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, I was told about them guys with them 2 first names as a kid. Real thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, Jeff George, I'm like, man.
You're not right, man.
Man, you call him Johnson George or something. Forget it.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm gonna actually say fiction because I just wonder if Arthur Blank's 82, man. He ain't getting any younger.
He ain't getting no younger.
Sometimes you just have to go. You have to put your foot down. So
he's not that much older than Terry. So yeah, I see your point.
What's up today?
He's not that much older than Terry. So leather helmet. So
this guy.
See, what he didn't tell you about the story was that they were wearing leather helmets when they played in that Holder Center. He didn't tell you that part. He didn't tell you that part.
Oh wow.
I mean, Terry, you should have told us about that, man. That would have been
yeah.
Terry, why you withholding information, bit dog?
Look, all of my highlights are in black and white. Would you guys really want to see them anyway? Whatever. Go ahead.
No, of course. Gotta silent too. That's nice.
What you had.
Look, we could get the projector out. It's not that hard.
Wait, is that Charlie Chaplin? Wait, you knew Charlie Chaplin? Yeah, that makes sense.
I think they're on microfiche, C-Dub. All right, what you got next for us, Ladarius?
Oh wow. Just want to keep it rolling when it's about him. What a surprise.
Anyway. Let's go.
Hey, first of all, hey, I done told you. You talk to your dancers and you
Oh
talk to your.
my God, man! What you know?
Don't be
What?
talking to me that.
Cut his mic off. What you got?
No, cut your mic off.
Hey
Cut
man.
your mic off.
Unfortunately, I'm the manager of the group. Okay, so you get on your mic and you
Hey,
say,
hey, babyface. Hey, babyface.
"Let's go."
It's getting crazy.
Sorry. I'm just cracking up over
Let
here.
me do my job.
It's getting crazy in here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's Terrence Trent D'Arby's fault over there. Now, sticking with the coordinator, we talked about Raheem. Let's talk about one of the coordinators. Jimmy Lake will be the defensive coordinator in 2025. Is that a fact or is that fiction?
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a fact, but it damn sure need to be fiction.
I'm gonna say it's fiction. That I'm gonna say is fiction.
Fact.
I'm actually gonna say fiction also. Man, go get Chuck Smith. Go get Chuck Smith. I want him as my DC.
But let me tell you why I say it should be. I think it's going to be fact. I think he's going to be here again because he's a part of that continuity. I think that the Falcons probably going to want to try to at least attempt to build. But Jimmy Lake, man, it's just like we have no proof that Raheem and Jerry Gray, like took over the defense from him or anything like that. But it's just funny to me how the defense was ran one week or several weeks, and then it's just like after the bye week, bro, we completely flipped the script. Like, bro, like we got like 21 sacks since the bye week. Like we are one of the best teams when it comes to sacks.
We are the best
since
team.
the bye week.
We are the best team since the bye week, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, bro. Like in football, I said it's really hard to flip a switch and just say, oh, okay, we're just a better team now. Like things got to grow and everything like that. And maybe some people can say, oh, well, everybody had to grow into the scheme. They had to get better and all that. I can't say that because we didn't have a complete game until the Giants game. So I can't even say that as a team. But the defense has been playing better. I don't know if I can fully just give that to Jimmy Lake because of what I saw before the bye week. It's just really hard for me to just imagine like a guy just said, hey, look, I am better now after the bye week and being able to watch and see my mistakes when you watching week after mistake. It just sounds weird. This sounds weird. To really believe that somebody can just turn it around in the mid-season after 1 week when they've had multiple weeks to do that.
To me, I think the reason why he would stay because that buddy. I don't think
it's a package deal.
Right. I don't think Raheem got the nerves to make a change at the end of the season, in the off season. I don't think he got that. He understand that. So that's why I said Jimmy Lake will be here next year. Now, do I want them here? I want them all down. I can't stand them all. But I don't own the team. So that'd be different. Because what I seen last night, hey, all y'all did hit the road.
Yeah.
Raheem Morris, you and your pants too. I tried to look at your ankles. Dog, you gotta cover.
No, Ron, you bring up a good point. So I was a manager for a telecommunications company for about, I'll say 6-7 years. And what I realize is there are three types of managers, right? There's a manager who's buddy, who everybody loves, but holds no one accountable. There's a manager who's Attila the Hun, who holds everybody accountable and manages by fear. And then there's a manager that's in the middle. And you have to be in the middle. Yes, you don't want everyone to hate you, but you don't necessarily want everyone to love you either, because sometimes you have to be honest and you have to cut your losses when need be.
Yeah.
You know, I remember having a conversation with the supervisor when I was very young. I was a new supervisor, and he said, I had to lay off somebody. And this guy told me that basically you're killing my wife because his wife was sick and their benefits were going to go away. And he said, you know what? I probably was, but his performance was substandard. And I had to run this department, and it was the best decision that I could make. Now, let me tell you, until you've been faced with that, like this shit ain't that serious. You're not talking about, you know what I mean? But until you've been faced with that, you don't understand leadership, right?
Right.
Leadership is just me making you feel good. Leadership is not just me telling you what you want to hear. Sometimes leadership is having very frank and open conversations and telling people, you know what, you're not cutting it. And I wonder if Raheem is at that point. I don't know. Ron makes some compelling points. He really does.
To me, I think Raheem more worried about his friends, who he friends with, instead of worried about the team.
See, you gotta have that, right? And I hear you, Ron. This business is about relationships. Make no mistake about it. But it cannot be solely about relationships. Look, Chris and I do podcasts I won't say every day, but we do podcasts together quite often. Me and Ladarius and you, Ron, and C-Dub, we do about 3 or 4 podcasts a week. All right. But we have to have a certain standard. To the extent that one of us is not meeting it, then a conversation needs to be had. Because if it's not had, then what's going to happen is the overall performance of the group is going to go down. You get what?
Absolutely.
And it's a certain set of stones to be able to do that. Now, I'm not trying to delay Ladarius because unfortunately I gave him Ladarius. Do you want to finish or do you want to save the rest of these for next week? Like you got 4 more. It's up to you.
Oh no. It's just your show, Timberland. I'll let you. We can save it.
All right, let's save it. We'll go on to Falcons trivia. Guys, in 1977, and I'm going to put stuff on the big screen here. It's time for the big screen.
Oh my God.
Boo.
Oh wow, the hate. And I just supported your point, Ron. Jesus, man.
Sorry. He expected that from me, not from you, Ron.
Wow, I did expect that. And that's what's sad. I did expect that from you. All right. So in 1977, the Atlanta Falcons defense set an NFL record for the fewest points allowed in a 14-game season. How many points did they allow that year? And I know most of you weren't alive in 77, so good luck.
We know the leather helmet.
I'm going to go with they allowed 12.9 points.
Total. So I think they allowed 100. I think it was 129.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking like per average per game.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Me too.
It was 129. All right.
129. Oh, okay. Well, I still would have got it wrong. I probably would have said about 112.
And for those of you who do not know the name of that defense, it was the Grits
Blitz, baby.
Grits Blitz.
Yeah, I know who.
Best Falcons defense in the history of ever.
Y'all know who.
Guys, and we appreciate it. All right. Next, when was the first winning season ever for the Falcons?
You said what now?
When was the first winning season ever for the Falcons?
Oh,
so our season in operation was 1966. When did we have our first winning season?
1971.
1971 is correct, sir. You are correct. All right. Last question, and I will be shocked if you guys get this. It is a multiple choice question. Of the following players, which one had been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame based mainly on their play with the Falcons? Of the following players, which one had been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame based mainly on their play with the Falcons? These are your choices: Eric Dickerson, Tommy McDonald, or William Andrews.
Tommy McDonald.
William Andrews.
I'm gonna say William Andrews.
Okay,
McDonald.
William Andrews is not in the Professional Hall of Fame. I believe he is in the College Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he in the College Hall of Fame for Georgia and Alabama, but he's not in the Hall of Fame for the NFL.
Okay,
McDonald.
The correct answer is Tommy McDonald.
Yeah, that's all I had left.
Well, great performance out there, C-Dub, shooting from way downtown, man. Great performance.
I just had one in the chamber. That was my last one.
That's why I had said Tommy McDonald. I said, well, I was like, yeah, Tommy McDonald. Had to get that 1971 in too.
I hear that. All right, guys, we are at the segment in the show called Doubling Up with C-Dub.
Okay.
And
doubling up with C-Dub. Terry, you have been warned about that dancing.
We're gonna write you a ticket, Terry.
You know what? I got one for you guys. I got one for you guys real quick, man. You know. Yeah. All right, so this how we're gonna do this. It's the year 2024. I'm in a game time situation where I can win the game, but I don't call timeout. Who am I?
Raheem Morris.
The next
Yeah, that was easy for everyone to get.
Raheem Morris. C-Dub, go ahead with your segment, sir. Doubling up with C-Dub, ladies and gentlemen.
Kind of went off on my segment a little earlier, but let's just say it like this. We are about to find out what kind of owner Arthur Blanks is again. Because are you steaming about what you see? As in, you didn't get Bill, and so for whatever people want to say, I still feel that was the guy he wanted. But I believe that move made the most impossible thing happen. Rich McKay and Terry Fontenot united as a team and accomplished something. Saved their jobs. But now we deal with the aftermath. What happens? Because look, I know people are going to look at this team and go, well, we have Troy Anderson coming back. We're going to have guys coming back. Guys, Troy Anderson is injury prone. This man spends more time in the DL than anything else. We need a legit linebacker that can go side to side, that can play defense, that can make calls on the line, and may need to draft one. I probably would say I would draft it in the first round if it's there, Mr. Walker. But also I'm looking at it like this. We need Terry to be a better GM because he has made moves to literally it's not even the first round picks that I look at. It's the second day picks. It's the moves you make to try to get guys. And you're like, man, if you didn't do that, you probably still get the guy and get someone else. So now we're in a situation where the quarterback you signed cost you a 5th round pick with his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback that you sign is going to carry a dead cap hit, whether you trade him, if you could trade him, or if you cut him. Now, I'm not worried about dead cap because I'm looking at the Broncos and I saw that they were able to go into the playoffs, or they're fighting for a playoff spot. But look, they're fighting. They got a quarterback, and they look at the talent they have. They use those young guys, and they have been able to play. So now the biggest question is this: what do you do? We have a team that can actually make, we can make noise. We have a legit offense, even if Kyle Pitts isn't here. All right. If he's here, cool. If he's not, okay. But you have London, who's a dog. We talk about that. You have Michael Penix, who's going to, I believe, get better. And you got Bijan, who, and look, Tyler Algier is there, I know, but Bijan has shown what he could do. And I know a lot of people wish that Tyler gets more carries, but look, it is what it is. I don't make this offense. Now, if we had like a Ben Johnson who can make sure everybody gets the ball and can get some play, I'm all for it. But right now, we have solid pieces. But the question is going to be, how do we fix this team? How do we get ourselves to be that better playoff-minded team? This game was all about playoffs, and you saw how we showed up. Our team showed up. I think our team should have won that game, but our coach wouldn't give us the assist to win. The coach did not put us in the best position to win. And no matter what, that, when you're being compared to the Bears as a head coach, that is not a good thing. Everybody was asking, what was Raheem doing? I guarantee you on other shows, they're probably asking the same thing if they want to talk about it. But you taking 5 timeouts to halftime. I mean, first half, you want to try to win the game. Second half, or the first, watch how the Chiefs do it. The first half, they're trying to score within last seconds. They're trying to push that ball downfield because they know the value of scoring. And yet here we are, we're piddling our thumbs. And it's like, the guys are there. The talent is there. Our coaching has to step it up. And will it? Man, that's why I say, I think Arthur needs to really think about this, because here's the thing. I don't think you would be the bad guy if you cut Raheem and this coaching staff. And not only that, if you say we need a better GM, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but the thing is this. Besides Michael Penix and Bijan and Drake, yeah, those are your first round picks. They're top 10 picks. I think you're supposed to hit those. What have you hit with? And those day 2 picks, they matter. You should have done some more, and you could have strengthened this team, and I don't see it. Again, the doubling up part is my thing is this. You really want to make this team good, man, go after Rock. If Rock comes back, I got to see Chuck Smith. I got to see somebody who's going to not just invigorate the defense, but really just wake everybody up. Chuck Smith would be, my thing is, you bring Chuck Smith in, you're kind of doing what the Lions did. And that Lions got a guy who played for this team and knows this team's, knows the community. And I'm going to tell you, Chuck Smith doesn't play. He is going to teach pass rush, but he knows his defense. And I would love to see him there. I would love to see him on the sideline coaching his defense and taking it to another level. The other thing is, I would get an assistant for Zach Robinson. But like I said, man, it all comes down. Arthur Blank, what do you want to do? You got to make the decision. Me personally, I've already said what I would do. So we'll see. I'm excited about what we have in Michael Penix, and I think the fans should be excited. This kid is going to be something special. I really do feel that.
Good deal.
And that's doubling up with C-Dub. Back to you guys.
Sir. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Make no mistake about it. We appreciate you.
And that right there was double or nothing with C double. Oh yeah, man.
Don't do that, Ted.
D-Dub's doing the same damn dance. What's up with this We Ain't Terry shit? Whatever.
Terry, I didn't have a problem, man. Shake your
My
thing.
bad, bro. We got a Terry that we thinking about too, man. My bad.
Hold on, Terry. If you want to shake your groove thing, shake your groove thing. It's all good.
I was shaking my look, man. Look, don't make me break out like my real dance, because I don't think any of y'all could get with me. I'm just saying, right? If I put on you, Ron,
not on your best day, you to beat me in dancing. Not on your best day. Either pop lock, I would. You don't want to see me in dancing.
Ron, I kick your ass. I'm telling you to your face.
Okay.
If you ever think about making me on the dance floor, you better wake up and apologize, Ron.
Terry, you don't want to see me on the dance floor.
Oh, let's do it, Ron. Let's do it. Let's do it.
This portion of the show, it's Terry and Ron's dance off.
And I'm gonna kick your ass. Look, I'm standing on business right now. So
he's saying it with so much conviction in his voice. I will kick your butt.
You hold tight.
You see what I got did with A1?
I see.
You hold tight. All right. So, guys, look it. Bend but don't break defense exhausted. And I'm talking about on the last drive. On that accursed drive that took damn near 7 minutes, where we lost the game in overtime. Was it bend don't break calls, or was it the fact that the defense was just exhausted from being on the field so long, guys? And we'll start with you, A1. Give me your thoughts.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. It didn't matter what kind of defense you called. We was gassed, bro. We pretty much played the defense pretty much played the entire third quarter. Now, I don't know for those who've played sports and those who don't, but being in sports shape is different from being in workout shape, right?
Yeah.
So one thing about it, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, y'all. I mean, because like you think about it, you're playing defense, like you're not on offense. It's different. You're on defense, and you're on defense for over 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that. And my thing isn't really like more than that, because they didn't score until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So my thing is, bro, like we only had, like, they showed it too, like Michael Penix in the second half, like we only had the ball for like 5 minutes by the time we really just got the ball back again. Like, I don't care who you are, you're gonna be tired as heck running up and down that football field. That's a football field, and you got to play defense on it for 11 straight minutes, pretty much 7 minutes in a row. And then the other drive, they what was a long drive too, with the BS with D'Angelo Malone, which that was a BS call, by the way. That was so ticky tack. That was so ticky tack. It reminded me of the penalty that they tried to give Caden Ellis like a game or two ago. That was just crazy. And you know, like it was a BS call. But I can't lie. Like King Mojo, he decided to go to the Commanders after that play.
Yeah, he put on a Commanders.
But you can also make this argument. Why was D'Angelo Malone even in coverage?
Yep.
That's the point.
Why
we can get on D'Angelo Malone, but why in the world is D'Angelo Malone in coverage when he has not been?
Yeah.
And even in that situation, I don't know. I mean, maybe put Richie Grant in. He wasn't inactive. I'm just saying, like, why put D'Angelo Malone in that situation at all when he hasn't played that situation?
Agreed.
I would say
so. I kind of look back at Jimmy Lake again, like, bruh.
I've been staying on business with this. That defense, our defense was tired.
Yeah,
we were tired. We could have put Ray Charles out there. He would have done the same damn thing to our defense.
Damn.
Put Stevie Wonder out there. He would have done the same thing to our defense.
Wow,
bro, I feel like we could have went and had We could have went and had the NFC All Stars from the
Right.
early days and still would have got. Man, listen.
Right. Our defense was so tired. I mean, do I blame the defense? No. Do I blame Jimmy Lake or Raheem? Yes. Because you know better.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you
they
can't
said,
really say Jimmy don't know better.
wait a minute. That's why I said Raheem. Raheem been on other teams, and people say he a defensive guy. He seen every defense. Well, did you see we retired, Raheem? Did you see that? Or you more worried about your pants? Or Dan Quinn?
Ron's still on those pants, man.
Ron don't
So,
like them pants, and that's just all there is to it.
I mean, to me, you gotta cover up, player. I don't want to see your ankles. And put on some damn lotion.
I think his pants are cool, but whatever. C-Dub,
Yes.
were we exhausted or was it bend don't break?
I think you have to look at it. It was, God, I hate saying a little bit of both, but you know what? It was exhausted. I mean, that third quarter, they were on the field all but for a minute.
Yeah.
And
Tell him.
not only that, it's not just that. You had to chase Jalen Daniels. They were basically what they did. The biggest adjustment I saw was they basically told Jalen, look, run on them. Make
Yeah.
them tired. Make them think about what they have to do. Even there were points that he made Jesse Bates look unsure. And I'm not making Jesse Bates look bad. Jesse Bates made some plays. But you could tell Jesse was trying to protect, but yet he wanted to attack. And it's like, when you watch Jalen Daniels, it's almost like he's slippery, or he just glides everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, he just in the right spot, everything. The play where he was even bent backwards, I was surprised he just got back up. I'm like, dear Lord.
Yeah.
I said a less athletic quarterback that ended his season.
Yeah. Same here.
Agreed.
But they got to get him in the right room. They do.
Dude, honestly, Ron, I don't even know, because it's just the way he played, and look how well he played. Because that happened, first, second quarter? And the second half, he was running like nothing was wrong.
Right.
So, look, we lost this game, and I don't want to, it's not just what they did, but I keep looking over, man, they made some plays. They made, and here's the thing, AJ Terrell was doing his job. He kept Terry McLaurin locked.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, hey, we're really getting, no, we had guys just really just taking it to us. And it's like everybody was making plays. It's almost like this. If you told a defensive coordinator, what's your goal? Well, I got to take Terry McLaurin away. I want to take the run away. They did all that. But they beat you with guys. It's like, we got to let these other guys beat you. And that's what they did.
All right, guys. Foot to ass, pen to pad, rubber to road. Yeah, we saw some great offensive performances. We saw some great defensive performances. We saw, the defense get beat. We saw some offense that we left out on the field. At the end of the day, and I'm going to ask this to the panel, and I'm going to start with Ladarius. Is Ladarius still here? Did he drop? Looks like he dropped. All right, I'll start with A1.
Mm-hmm.
Is this loss on Coach Raheem or no?
Absolutely. Because, again, I can pinpoint things, but we can even talk about D. Alford. We can even say, oh, man, D. Alford got cooked and all this stuff like that. Even with all the things that happened at the end of regulation, I just feel like if you had better clock management, you still could have won the game.
Okay.
That's just what just negates everything that happened everything that happened before Darnell Mooney catching that at 36 seconds is negated because you still had 2 timeouts. So check it. Let's say you call a timeout, right? All right. Then let's say the next play, you put it right in the middle of the field for a 15-yard gain. Now you in field goal range. Oh, guess what? You still have one more timeout to call.
Yep.
Get yourself together. Even if you want to wait and say, all right, wait. 3 seconds left. You call that last timeout, and we in field goal range. Let's say it's a 47-yarder for Riley Patterson.
Yep.
So regardless, then you just did better clock management, because at the 36 seconds mark, you call timeout. You don't even have to rush. You don't have to rush to the line. You can just call the timeout, then call you a nice play. You got time to call you a nice play for your rookie, for your skill players. The defense for Washington is on their heels. They don't know what's necessarily coming at you, and you still got a whole 36 seconds. You call another play, even if it's in the middle of the field, and you get 10, 15 yards, you still have another timeout you can call to either get you another play or 2, or just wait and go all the way down to 3 seconds and just say, well, regardless, we either going to overtime or we're going to win this game right here. It's just clock management. We had an opportunity to win, coach.
Yep.
We had an opportunity to win, even with everything, even with Jaden Daniels running all over the place, even with it all happening, coach. We had it at the end, coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Ronnie Thomas, this on Raheem?
Hell yeah, this on Raheem. I wish I didn't meet Raheem.
Oh, Lord.
And I would ask him, what the fuck you be thinking? What the fuck you be thinking? Better yet, I just would get him a 2-piece and a biscuit. To me, it seems like his body there and flesh be there, but his mind be somewhere else. It's not on the game.
With me, but your mind is on the other side of town.
Yeah. Raheem, what the hell you be thinking?
Messing me around. That's a song by the OJs, ladies and gentlemen, from the 70s.
What the hell you be thinking, Raheem Morris? I want to ask him that. If I ever get to go to the stadium and I see Raheem, I would pull him to the side, be like, what the hell you be thinking? What is it?
Well, just know if you see me at the stadium and that music come on, it's on, Ron.
Oh, Lord.
It's on tight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know what else was on site? You know what else was on site? Alameda Zaki is cooking our ass. That was on site.
You know what else on site? Huh?
What's that, Ron?
That whole defense.
Yeah.
On Washington were on site.
That's
and you know what else? If you pop locking, you might break a hit that you're almost 90.
Hey man, here.
So watch it.
Say something. One thing T Will can do. Yes, I'm speaking about myself in third person. One thing T Will can do. T Will can still dance, baby. Now, I do what I do because I want to make y'all feel good about y'allself. But if it ever comes down to an ass kicking contest on the dance floor, that's all I'm saying. Look, Ron, you and I can settle this later, sir.
We're gonna see. Ain't nothing to settle.
C-Dub, is Raheem responsible for our loss? Yay or nay?
I'm more wanting to do like a pay-per-view where we can settle this dance off, try to monetize this, because I'll be the DJ. We'll have Ladarius be the host, but yeah, man, I mean, this dance off, man, I'm feeling like the heat and the fire, man. This is more competitive than the Hawks, or more competitive than the Falcons.
Because when Ron gets embarrassed, he's not going to be able to show his face on the podcast anymore, because they're going to be like, you got your clock cleaned by a 54-year-old dude.
No, you mean 84?
All right, C-Dub, what say you? Is Raheem responsible, yay or nay?
Look. Let's call it what it is. We played a hell of a game, and we got a heel turn on us by our own coach. I mean, he's responsible, and the thing is this: not only is he responsible, dude, just wear the freaking hat of accountability. You know, just be accountable to this. Get on. You're not looking bad if you say, "Yeah, I screwed this up. My guys had the opportunity to win this game, and I screwed it up." And you could have won it in regulation. It would have been the biggest win. And you know what? We're not even talking about Raheem possible, about is he going to be the coach next year? We're not even bringing it up because we're like, you know what? Okay, yeah, the pants is weird. Okay, his he loved Kurt. He liked that Ben Gay smell, but you know what? He went to the young guy. It's like, dude, there would have been so much that would have been pushed under the rug. But because your pride and the way you are, I almost honestly feel like if he could have had Kurt, he would have coached that game better. Or he would have coached the game with some effort. That's how I feel. And that's a problem.
All right, guys. Last question. Where do we go from here? So let's game this out. Worst case scenario, and we are at DEFCON 5. Make no mistake about it. We are at worst case scenario. We are at pull the pin and throw the grenade and a hope like hell it works. Where do we go next year? Do we trade Cousins in the offseason? We got Simmons on a 1-year deal. We got Judon on a 1-year deal. Anderson is injury prone. We've got some injury. We've got some positions that we need to address. We've already signed Kyle. Kyle did make an appearance last night. Are we going to trade him? In short, where do we go from here? And guys, we can substitute this with you being the GM because essentially it's the same question. A1, I'll start with you. Where you're the GM of the Falcons, your worst nightmare has been realized. Where are you going from here, A1? What are we doing?
Man, oh man. All right, so I don't put myself back in Cap Hill, technically speaking. But I know, man, God told my okay. Let me bring it in. Let me bring it. I'll fit to go somewhere, but let me bring it in. All right, so the best case scenario is to trade Kurt if you're trying to save money. Like if you're trying to save money and improve this team in different ways, so you're going to have to trade Kurt because you do have holes, you do have pieces that you need to go get. You need to think about what you're going to do with Judon, if you're going to keep him or if you're going to let him go to get that pick. Now, his production doesn't say keep him, but we can still have the conversation to see what kind of money you looking for. And if if we can make the money work, I'm open to bringing back Judon. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely not going to be for what he got paid this year, like 8 mil or something, 8-9 mil. So it's definitely not going to be nowhere near that. I'm talking about nowhere near it. And if you think so, then you can go. But because I'll take the draft pick and then just try to, right my wrongs in that aspect. Like I said, best case scenario, trading Kurt, because if you cut him, that's a 65 mil over spread it between 2 years. And I know you can work the cap to kind of like try to spread it out some more. It's just like I don't want to have to do all that. The best case scenario is to trade him. Troy Anderson, it didn't work. It's too injury prone for me. I like Arnold Abercady. That's the guy who I'm kind of banking on. I definitely would make sure that to not get somebody to try to like compliment him because I think he's turning the corner. He had 2 sacks last night. That's the second time that he's had multi sacks, and that's since the bye week.
He's got 7 since the bye week, right?
He has 6.
Okay.
6 since the bye week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He has 7 total, so he might
So
actually.
and I just said this in that video that I did about Arnold Albuquerque like a couple of days ago. I said, like, if he keeps on trending up in his production, he's going to have a career year in sacks, and
Yep.
he has it now.
Yep.
So I'm just saying that we still have one more game left. He can still come and mess around and get 2 more. Then we're talking about possibly Arnold Albuquerque having 8 or 9 sacks. So I'll take that production from Arnold. Sure will. And so like guys like that, yeah, we got to get better linebackers. That's just, I love Caden Ellis. Yeah, he can stay. JD Bertrand, he's showing that he has some flashes, but regardless, we got to get better at linebacker. We knew that it was a problem area coming into the season. It was thin there, and it wasn't necessarily like, all right, we was like, all right, Nate Landon and Caden Ellis, everybody else was kind of like a question mark. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get better at linebacker. This draft, I know we got to like put things around Penix, but honestly, man, I got to fill some of these holes. This would have to be like an ugly draft. And what I mean by that is all that flashy speed and all that stuff like that. I really don't care about it, man, right now. I'm like thinking about my trenches. I'm thinking about my quarterback, the blind side, if we choose to move on from Caleb McGarry, because we don't owe him no guaranteed money next year. So like you could cut him and have savings. Do you want to or not? I don't know, because that continuity, we talked about that earlier. And that's something that we do at least have on the offensive line with a lot of these guys being back. Drew Dahlman, Ryan Nuzil. You got to make a decision on that, because both of those guys are free agents at the end of the year. So, like, you got to start thinking about stuff like that. So with the draft, I'm looking at in the trenches. I'm looking at linebacker. I'm looking at, potential safety, cornerback, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I just named like 5 different positions right there. This may have to be just one of those type of drafts where you go get guys who you can plug into this team to make the overall team better, and not just go get the big splash guy. Try to go get all the speed and all that stuff like that, man. We have issues that we need to clean up and get better at, and we don't have a lot of cap space right now to do it. And we also have to realize that, and I'm gonna be done after this. We also have to realize that as far as even trading, it takes 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, but some teams don't necessarily like work with us outside of Cleveland. So maybe like Cleveland can be a place, because with Kevin Stefanski and Kirk Cousins, maybe you can make that work. But outside of that, I'm just like, who is going to do something for the Falcons? Who's going to help the Falcons? And that's just where it's just, I'm at with it, but we definitely have a lot of big decisions we got to make.
Good deal. Guys, if you are in this chat and you are watching this, please like, share, and subscribe for my ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. I'm going to display it in the chat here. We do programming every Friday evening about 7 p.m. and every Monday morning around 10 a.m. And that's going to continue post Falcon season, whenever that is. The goal today is to get at least 5 new subscribers. And again, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. So if you have not liked, shared, and subscribed yet, please do so. As stated earlier, we are here every Monday. And I think, and I'm being humble. I'm not being arrogant, but I think we put on a pretty good show. So if you want to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, that is For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. It is the life's blood of what we do. It is a way that we can continue to bring the show to you. And this has been our service announcement back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, Ronnie Thomas, you're the GM of the Falcons. Damn it. We lost the game last night. Where are we going from here, Ronnie? I mean, where are we going? I got to know. Where are we going?
Now, when you look at Kirk Cousins, I look at a putt-putt. What I mean by a putt-putt, a pieces. but I will call the Giants. I will call Tennessee. I will call Cleveland. And one more team. So I would call all these teams, and I would be a car salesman.
I'm even calling the Colts again.
What? I know I got
I'm even
putt,
calling the
but
Colts
you
again.
don't know that.
Oh wow!
I would be. Hey, he good in the locker room. He would get the best out of the players. They don't know that.
Wow!
These head coaches don't know that, and they're looking for a leader. Coach Cousins can be a leader. Now, will they give me what I want? Maybe, maybe not. Now, I will. To me, in my opinion, I will try my best to trade Kyle Pitts too. Though we need draft picks. We need draft picks. That's where I would go, and I would get the best out of the draft picks I get. Now, do I like Kyle Pitts? But but hey, Ron, how you said? But I mean, we need a lot of linebackers, safeties, corners, defensive line help. And how many draft picks we got right now? 5. They're not going to cut it. They're not going to cut it. So I would do, if I'm the GM, I would trade Kyle Pitts and Coach Cousins their offseason for at least 4 draft picks each. So that's what I would do.
Okay. Makes sense. C-Dub, you're GM for the day. Where we going? Where we going, C-Dub? Where we going? Where we going? What we doing?
You got some good pieces. All right, you do. But you got to be real with what you have. Number one, Kyle Pitts ain't made for this world. He's not. Look, awesome moment, caught the touchdown, good for him. All right, good job on that. And I'm looking at Kurt. I got to get with Kurt because he's got that damn no trade clause. But I got to try to find a place. The other thing is this. I got to have some hard decisions to make about the offensive line because of McGarity. Also, I got to look at that D tackle spot. We got some young guys that can take over. But if I go and push for them to take over, we may have to say goodbye to somebody. And I don't want it to be Grady, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. The other thing I'm going to say is this. As a GM, I want to save my job. If I got to throw Raw under the bus, I will. And my thing is this. I know people want to say, oh, well, Arthur Smith got 3 years, But my thing is this. I was screaming for Arthur Smith to be fired after the second year. But people tell me he could get better. So I'm looking at this year and I'm going, so with the great talent upgrade that Rock adapted, his quarterback, his coaches were 1 win better? Really? Like Ron said, it's coaching. I got to look at my coaching staff and I got to see, is there anybody on this staff that I could look at and go, we could build around this guy? Or do I need to get consultants to make these guys' jobs better? Or do I need to look at a head coach and go, I need somebody that knows football, that is not going to BS us. I'm tired of being wowed at the interview stage. You know, what are you doing? Puppet shows? I mean, I'm sick of these interviews. Give me a guy like Dan Campbell. Give me a guy that is intense and wants to win. You know, don't give me a guy that's a rah-rah speech, because that's all we're getting. And when the rubber hits the road, what did we get? Oh, the guys need to move faster. The same guys that have been busting their humps for you, the same guys that you've been building up, you want them to move faster? You have 2 timeouts, and you could have called a timeout, and you could have gotten plays. You really think that Michael Penix doesn't know how to can do a hurry-up offense? That's what I'm really aggravated the most with. But, yeah, man, when I look at the defense, or where do we go? I think you can get I think Ebiketie has, if you give him snaps, if you give these guys snaps, they're going to deliver. That's what a lot of us wanted to see. I think Judon, if he wants to come back here, great. But at least you can work the contract. I don't think he would want a big contract, honestly, because, guys, you know, he's at the tail end of his career, too. Let's be honest. So that's another thing. You know, I don't mind a veteran presence, but you got to at least have some kind of play, too. But I like where we are, but yeah, we got some major questions to fill.
Good deal. All right. Hey, can you drop that to Dixon Way?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
All right.
Give me a minute, Larry. I'm going to send it to your ex.
All right. So let's go ahead and close that out. And
You know, it's crazy that we sitting here having this conversation, right? Y'all do know this is all crazy, right?
Yeah.
We would want
Considering the fact that at the beginning of the season we talked about playoff or bust.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just saying, if Tampa don't lose next week and we can't win, I'm just saying we're not going to the playoffs, so there's only one other option left.
Yeah, I guess it's bust, man. I mean,
if Tampa loses to the Saints and we win, I mean, that's amazing. But like I said, we had to back in. But yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Right, I would not be mad about it. But why should we put ourselves in that kind of predicament?
Yeah. You shouldn't be here. That's the whole point.
We should not be in this kind of predicament. We want the Saints or all teams to win for us. And Raheem Morris could have got the job done last night.
But we're here now, y'all. This is our reality, and we gotta live in it. We gotta move forward, and we gotta beat Carolina, and we got a scoreboard watch too, and hope that they want that New Orleans wants to play. And then I believe the game is in Tampa too. On top of that,
yeah,
as far as like them.
You know what? Chris and I were talking last night in A1, and we were like, in another universe, like, you know, if we're in the multiverse, if there's another universe, the Falcons won, and Chris and I were in the other universe celebrating and laughing. But unfortunately, we live in this one, and yeah, we lost. So, golly, that sucks, big donkey hooters. Oh, wow. We're waiting on, I guess, Dixon Way and Mark Cheney. I did drop Mark the link. So, Christy Lewis.
Hey, give me a second. I'm working on it. I promise. I'm sorry.
All good. Christy says the Aints ain't got nobody left to play.
Right. Half of that team
half of that team is in Cancun already.
Right.
I think they shut down Alvin Kamara. I think he posted something about being in New Zealand or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yep.
Half of that team on injury reserve already. So
Mark Cheney, what it do, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, awesome
What's up,
show,
Mark?
man. Hey, what's up, fellas? Awesome show, man. Y'all made me late to work. I've
What's
been
up, Mark?
vibing, listening to the show. What's up, fellas? So yeah,
Well,
forgive me when I
Mark,
have my camera on. I'm moving around trying to run to the office.
All good, bro.
But yeah. Like I said, I agree with most of what everybody's saying. I think everyone has great points. You know, we all seen this movie before, so it's almost like, you know, I think some of us are scared to accept, you know, what may be the ending. But as far as the topic about Raheem, I think we all like Raheem. I think we all prefer him as our leader compared to Arthur Smith. But I just feel like, you know, we're coming to a dead end with this situation. And I say that because he's tied to Kirk Cousins. So now you're coming in as a new head coach. And now you already have this dead cap over your head. You're kind of you're kind of connected to Terry. So Terry is on the super hot seat. So if you fire Terry, it doesn't make sense to give Raheem Morris the benefit of the doubt. Like, we don't owe him anything. And then the biggest thing for me is his decisions with the coordinators. You know, if you fire Jimmy Lake, what sense does it make to let Raheem bring in another defensive coordinator? I mean, you could have picked a lot of qualified people, but you brought in two inexperienced coordinators in a season where we expect you to at least get 9 wins, right? So we're at 8. We may get to 9, but, you know, we were at least expecting to be at 9 wins, and we were at least expecting to be in control of this division. And as of now, we're hoping the Saints, you know, can help us out. So I just think when you look at the big picture with Raheem Morris, I just think, again, we're looking at a dead end. We're looking at a coach that is now going to be faced with a middle of the round draft pick, a coach that's going to have decisions with Kirk Cousins, you know, decisions with this defense going forward. The same defense that was extremely mediocre most of the season. And again, when you just look at all the facets and you think about the clock management throughout the season, I don't think we owe him another season. Now, if we come out against the Panthers and we look like a completely different team, okay, my tone might change, but I feel like it's very possible that this game against the Panthers is going to be a competitive game, because it always is. And if that happens and we barely scrape away, I think it's obvious that, you know, you have to start considering, you know, looking at other options. And if there's someone available that you think is an upgrade over Raheem, you have to go get him. Because, again, we don't owe him anything. We gave him a lot of control. And one of his first decisions as a head coach was to go get Kirk. And that looked like a terrible decision. So, again, you know, I agree with most of what everybody's saying, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I just think it's multiple layers, and there's a lot of things going against Ra. You know, and unfortunately, I think these things manifest and these things become a lot clearer because of how he managed the clock at the end of the game last night. It just shows, like, some people, you know, they are who they are. And I think Raheem is a great guy, but I just don't think that he's a head coach in the NFL.
Got it to him, by the way. And Mark, you know, you say that. So would you also look at it as maybe he's just a really good defensive coordinator, but not a overall seer of the team?
C-Dub, I wouldn't even say that.
I'm listening.
I wouldn't even say that, because if you were such a good defensive coordinator, you wouldn't have had the worst defense for most of the season. You know, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. And then I think Raheem's a unique coach. He has so much experience, it's almost like it's working against him. You know, he has experience on the offensive side, receivers, DBs, D coordinator. And I think that confidence, and again, I think the word of the day was arrogance. I heard that word a lot today. I think, again, all those things played against him, where he didn't take responsibility over one unit and it showed. It showed. Some weeks the offense was good, some weeks the defense showed up, but we never saw a game this season, other than maybe the Giants game, where both sides look like a good playoff caliber team. You know, we haven't seen that unless I mean maybe I'm forgetting the game, but we haven't seen a complete game again other than that Giants game. So I'm not so that he's a great defensive coordinator. I think he's a better defensive coordinator than Jimmy Lake, but I don't want to say that he's kind of like Arthur Smith, where it's like, oh, you're better off as a coordinator. I just think he is better off with less responsibility. So again, that's where I look at it, where it's kind of like a dead end with Raheem. What can you really do other than bringing in an experienced defensive coordinator that's gonna prove to a billionaire, prove to smart individuals that you will improve? He has nothing really going for him. He has to make a lot of decisions, and he needs a lot of help. And if you need that much help, again, why give you the benefit of the doubt and give you more control over where this roster is going going forward? I just don't think that's wise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. William Amy who has joined the panel. William, give us your thoughts.
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? I'm I'm agreeing with you saying, buddy, but Raheem was done. I just talked to Mad Mike and them boys. They right, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. We had this game in the bag. We start running the ball with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. And what pissed me off most, C Dub and Terry? Why are we doing the Wildcat? Why are we doing the Wildcat? Why would we had Bijan Robinson snapping the ball in the Wildcat and for Wildcat formation instead of handing the ball off to Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier? That's that Robinson, right?
That's all Zach Robinson.
That's what I'm saying. We always get too cute when we get in the end
Hey,
zone.
hey, but I got to get on Drew Dalman because twice he snapped that ball funny.
Yeah, he
He
did.
he caught Michael Penix once on the early snap, and that led to an incompletion. Then again in the Wildcat. So I got to get on to Zach Robinson, but I also got to get on to our offensive line, our center, Drew Dalman. This and that. Let's just talk about just
Yeah,
that.
my bad. My bad. Somebody.
We can't hear you. You guys
Can't
there?
hear you. Can't hear you, Will.
Hear you,
Yeah.
William.
What can you do for me lately? Hold on, let me take my headphones out. I can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was saying is Raheem Morris and them, this whole coach staff got to go, man. They too much buddy, man. It's like we had Jane Daniels who was containing him. They stopped doing that. We ain't sending them corner. They was killing us. We could have used the corner back blitz. We weren't even doing that. So what that being said is we need to address getting us some more nickel back. We need to get us some edge rushers. Get us another safety because I don't know if DeMarco Hender's gonna be back next year. He can be back, but Simmons gone. We're not right to sign him.
Yeah.
And I feel like, man, off the blank, man, you gotta pull the cord, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, he promised us that he had high expectations that we were going to the playoffs. He said out his own mouth that we were going to the playoffs. But now we were 6-3. Then we start losing these games back to back. I already knew Tampa was about to win the division when we start losing 4 games back to back. And hey, I got to deal with people at my job talking about Tampa this, Tampa that. Tampa's not even a good team. They don't even have a defense. So I'm not even worried about them. But moving forward, fellas, man, we need a clean house, man. Like C Dub said, we got a clean house, right? Said I'm hiring Steve Wilkes, or I'm getting me some coaching office coordinator with some experience to help Raheem Morris, because Raheem cannot coach. I'm sorry, he's done. He didn't even call a timeout. We had 30 seconds and he ran it out. You could have at least put Darnell Mooney catch the ball on the 30-yard line of 50 to give us a chance to have a short yard village to kick the field goal. That's all I'm saying, man.
Hey, and my question is, like, what case does Raheem really have to come back? Like, if y'all was Raheem, anyone that would want to or thinks he's gonna be back for year 2, because of what? Because of the contract he signed last summer? You know, other than them agreeing to a 2 or 3 year contract, what has he proven this year what piece or what player has he built up? Like, what has we really done? Because if you look at Raheem Morris on the sideline, his mouth be shut. He's not even communicating with the players. I swear I never see him communicate. It's like he's never talking on the mic.
And he ain't got that passion, brother. I ain't mean to cut you off. He ain't got that passion, brother. He's a cheerleader coach, brother. He's a cheerleader. He's a quiet boy. It's my word against y'all word type situation. And that's what I'm tired of these yes man's coordinators we have in this coaching staff, bro. They got to go, man. They got to go. I'm sorry, we cannot have these players back. Jimmy Lake got to go.
Because I think the big argument with Arthur Smith was, oh, he got 3 years. Well, he was our play caller. He was an offensive play caller. So of course you're going to give him at least 2 years. You're not going to fire your head coach as the play caller. Are we going to say that Raheem's been calling the defense since the bye week? I mean, I haven't seen him calling the plays.
Just Jerry Gray. That was Jerry Gray calling them plays, man.
Let me say this. I can't believe y'all taking up for Raheem. I can't.
No, I ain't taking up for Raheem.
No, I said me.
Oh.
I talked them for myself.
Oh.
Did our defense get better in sacks? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We could say he took over from Jimmy Lake. Now, to me, Jimmy Lake got the job. To me, I want a defensive coordinator with experience.
What about coordinator? You don't want Zach Robinson to go?
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Now, in more experienced coordinators out here, I don't want. Sometimes I like the head coach and the OC go against each other. They bring out the best of each other. We see it with Pittsburgh. We see it with the Bills. They go against each other and bring out the best in each other. We see it with Minnesota this year. They're a top 5 defense and maybe a top 5 offense. But when stuff don't go their way, they go against each other. They challenge each other. That's what I want. I want my head coach when call the players out, call the OC out, call the defensive coordinator out. If they're not doing a good job, call their ass out. But Raheem Morris will not do that. He too buddy with everybody. He rather be your friend than tell you when you messing up.
Ego, that's what causes his job. Yeah. Ego right there, man. Causes his job.
Well, hang on a sec. We don't know that they're not private conversations. Now, what I will say is he does seem a little buddy, but I would be remiss if I did not. We don't know the conversations that they're having privately.
What? Behind behind closed doors. We don't know.
We don't
know. On the sideline, where I see, he don't do that on the sideline.
Right.
He don't walk up to the team.
I don't blame him not doing that on the sideline. I don't think that's necessary, right? I don't think it is necessary because it is not coaching, it is not leadership to cuss somebody out in front of 20,000 people. It's just not. Now, again, if you choose to do that, I'm not vilifying anybody who does, but it doesn't necessarily make you a great coach just because you cuss somebody out. C-Dub, did you send Larry the link?
Yeah, I did. I had to send it to him twice. So, and I was fighting with X to get it through. So, Larry, please check the DM. I'm sorry. I was having some issues. I was trying to get it through.
I did trying to say, we seen head coaches go to their OCs and their players and be like, "What are you doing? What you see on the field?"
No, I get it, but that again, Ron. Here's where I am. Right, I've worked under a lot of leaders. I've been in management for a long time. I've worked for assholes. I've worked for nice guys. I've worked for people in the middle. This is what I was taught, and I've worked in many corporate functions. I've been a manager. I've been a trainer. I've been a supervisor. You always praise in public and criticize in private. Now that's me. That doesn't mean that, again, I'm not Bill Parcells, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, if you're going to coach, you have to be yourself. So if
Right.
you're not comfortable with ripping somebody a new asshole in front of 90,000 people, then don't do it. It should be private. All I'm saying is we don't know that those conversations are not being had, right?
Right.
And look at Ron, you have a point. This is what I will say about after watching that interview last night. Raheem gives off the vibe that I'm the smartest guy in the room. And that is the one thing, if he's going to survive as a head, that he's got to deal with now.
What?
But Terry, I ain't trying to cut you off, Terry. But I get what Ron's saying. Ron's saying that he want a disciplined coach gonna get on players' ass and then make mistakes and make adjustments on the fly.
Because you get on again. There are coaches. You don't see Robert Saleh doing that. And Robert Saleh gets great defense. You don't see Robert Saleh cussing folks out on the sideline. You don't.
But we seen Pittsburgh Steelers head coach cussing out. Yeah, we seen him many times do that. Then he praised.
Okay.
He praised that player at the same time too. We do see that.
I get it. That's one guy. And Ron, I'm not saying that doesn't work, but it doesn't work with everybody. Just because you cuss a player out on the sideline, that doesn't mean that that's going to resonate with everybody. I got 3 kids, and the approach that I take with my 3 kids is totally different contingent upon the kids. Some kids, I can get them right where they do. There's others I got to pull to the side and have a conversation. Because if I go off on them, they're just going to shut down. They're not going to respond. They're not going to get better. They're just going to shut down. Hey, what happened? Damn, Dixon Way, you dropped. Okay, I was about to introduce you.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand it. But what I'm saying, I tired we getting these head coaches
and costing us games, man. For real. Like
costing us game and think, oh, I'm the smartest dude in the room. No, you're not.
I agree.
Because if Ray Charles to see you fucked up, it's Stevie Wonder to see you fucked up. What do you think the whole United States saying about us?
I
tired being in that boat.
I agree. I agree. I agree with both of you there. I do.
Because we had the game, we shouldn't even give Commanders any adjustment or hope beating us because we was up by 10 at halftime. All we could have did is make adjustments and say, hey, let's stop the read option, contain Jayden Daniels, do not give him no integrity of going outside of the pocket and run the ball. If we would have tackled better in a half and forced him to throw, and Agent Terrell did his thing on this other side, and JC Bates would have did his thing, we would have won ball game. All we had to do was run the ball, play physical defense. That's all you need. That's complimentary football. And we don't have these type of coaches. That's the problem, bro. And like I said, Ron just saying that we need a hard-nosed coach who get on players' ass if they're not executing. And you have to be on the bench.
I am so fed up having these head coaches that think they're smarter than everybody. Football is not rocket scientists. It's not.
It's not.
I played football my whole life.
Let me ask you a question, Ron. Is Bill Belichick the kind of coach that cusses players out on the sideline?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets into it, but I don't think he does it on the sideline. Well, actually, I've seen him do a few. Yeah, but
let me ask you a question. So, if he does that, what happened when Tom Brady left? Because he literally took the franchise into the ground, and to your point, he was holding folks accountable. So what happened?
I understand that,
no,
but
I'm asking you what happened.
He had to rebuild all over again.
Ron, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
He did.
I'll call you on it, Ron. No, he ran that franchise into the ground because Bill Belichick is an asshole who doesn't know how to connect with players.
What's up, Dixon Way?
You gotta look it. It's just like the church. If you got all love and no correction, nobody's doing anything. If you got all correction and no love, everybody hates you. There has to be a balance. I'm not saying you can't hold people accountable, but embarrassing folks, especially with this new generation of player, it doesn't work. Now that's just my
Okay,
opinion. That's just
okay,
What's up,
Ted.
What's up,
Wait,
Jason?
wait a minute. I'm gonna ask y'all something. We had Arthur Smith. We had Raheem Morris. What the difference between those two?
I think Arthur's more of a hard ass.
Eagle.
I think Arthur's more stoic and more. I don't think he's as warm and cuddly as Raheem. But look at Ron. Let's get Larry some airtime because we got a few
Yeah,
minutes.
hold on. Let's give him an applause here.
What's up? What's up?
Mr. Way, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? I don't need no applause. I need my coach to be a coach, man. I need a mouse tool. My son watching Mickey Mouse.
That's good tool. That's good tool.
What's up, man?
So it's connection. It's probably connection.
Larry,
Yeah, hey,
Man,
but
what
like
Larry
I
going with,
want to just
man?
stick on what Larry was saying. Like as far as a head coach, like I don't think anyone's we don't want to curse people out, but we want you to do something. And I think the prime example is we want you to call a timeout, bro. Like we want you to we want you to hold the defensive coordinator accountable. It took you 11 weeks to do that. You know, we want you like Will said, why are we running a wildcat in that situation?
He's
Like
too damn cute.
Just
exactly.
because they worked once in the game, they want to go back to the well instead of just giving it and handing it off to the running backs you've been giving it to anyway. Come on, man.
But that was
Remember,
saying that's coaching. That's coaching. Like A1 Forever said it. When Bijan Robinson was tearing the ass off in the running game, they could not stop it. So why run from away from it? Was working until I just
that how we built our team on the running game. If Bijan and RJ hitting you in the mouth and the defense was getting tired, they were getting tired. You gonna stop that and just throw the ball? It don't make no sense. That go back to coaching. Coaching matter.
yep.
And what to me, Raheem, and I
And
said it many a time, I don't think Raheem know how to build a team.
you don't. And why? And I didn't mean to cut you off. When he was in LA Rams, that was Wade Phillips' team. That wasn't Raheem Morris' team. They had Von Miller. They already had these players now. So I'm giving Wade Phillips and Sean McVay that team. That's not Raheem Morris' team. That was really Wade Phillips' team.
So I
He
told
Correct.
you
Correct.
still won a Super Bowl. Guys, I'm not saying you're not right. All right, let me be clear. I'm not saying he didn't look. This is his fault. He should have called the timeout. I can admit that. He should have called the timeout, and more importantly than that, he should have owned it in that press conference. That
right.
shit has to go. What I'm saying is, and I think A1 alluded to this. Who are you going to replace Raheem with? Who's out there? So for all of you who talk all that, who are you replacing them with?
With Whitfield, what's his name? Whitfield from who used to be a Tampa Bay office coordinator. I better get him than Raheem Morris.
We
I don't give
don't
a damn who it is.
like what's his credentials? Has he won?
I got a question for you too. I got a question for you on that. Like my thing is, all right, it's not just about, you know what I'm saying, changing guys, but like, do you want to continue to have like a change of leadership? You know what I'm saying, that your guys, your players have to, you know, listen to new schemes, new verbiage, you know, all that stuff like that. Do you want to go on and have to like start all that over? It's just different things that the Falcons are going to have to think about. Like, you know, it's easy to say clean house, and we want them to clean house. Like we know what we're seeing as fans, but as an organization, you know, they really do have a lot of decisions to make. Do we really want to blow it up and restart? And it really gonna come down to the heart of Arthur Blank. Like everything, regardless, at the off season, still going to revert back to him. And what does he want to do at this point?
Yeah.
Does he
But
want?
A1, I think the biggest thing is when you see Kirk Cousin on that sideline with his helmet on, looking how he looked, that's the same look we was getting at the players when we fired Dan Quinn. And I just feel like it makes no sense to keep him when the players know, the fans know, yo, you were a part of bringing this guy in. You was rooting for him the whole damn season. You probably kept him
Too
in at
long.
least 2 weeks too
Too
long.
long. By week, he should have been benched. I ain't even cut y'all. By week, Kirk Cousins should have been on the bench after bye week. And that's all I got to say. My bad.
I definitely say if nothing else, it should have been after that Charger game. I've said this plenty of times. If I was the coach, he wouldn't have gotten that last hoorah in Minnesota. I'm sorry, and
So
I know.
exactly. So you don't think players see that? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you really think we owe Raheem that much? Do you think the players are like, oh my God, he got us to 6-3. Like, we love him so much. But like, you were the same coach that again was rooting for Kurt, and you kept him in a little too long. That's why I said I think we're at a good place where you can cut ties with him and the GM and just start fresh. You probably got to get rid of Grady. You probably got to get rid of Justin Simmons, Judon. But
D
like,
Alford.
yeah, I said D offered, but at least you can have a new coach with Michael Penix, and y'all can Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts should have been traded this season for a 6-rounder.
Yep.
Like at the end of the game, we have Charlie Warner in, and they didn't put Kyle Pitts in until third down and for that first drive. That don't make no damn sense. So that's what I'm saying. I think the big picture is you got to fire Terry Fontenot.
Yep.
And if you fire Terry, you got to let the new GM hire his own coach, because we don't owe nothing to Raheem yet.
I
Especially
agree,
if we don't make
man.
the playoffs.
Hey, I'm already saying it. We ain't making some no playoffs, bro. I hate to say it, brother. Tampa about to win at home. I don't have no faith in the New Orleans Saints. I'm sorry. We gonna miss the playoff for the 8th season. Raheem is out of the. Yeah, I hate to say it. It's too late, man.
So, guys,
For
here's my
you,
question. And guys, honestly, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to bring this one in because I gotta work. But
yeah,
last
I'm sorry, man.
question: has Raheem lost the locker room?
Most
And
definitely.
think about it from a player perspective. You had
I,
that game last night. We can all agree on that. You've got 30 seconds. You're driving the ball with wise use of your timeouts. You should have it. You should have us in a position a 46-yard field goal. With that being said, with the fact that what you guys alluded to, you probably held on to Kirk too long. With the fact that you held on to that candy ass bend but don't break defense way too long. Do you guys think? And I need you to be quick because we got to go. Do you guys do me a favor, C Dub, reach out to Antonio. Let him know we'll have him on another show.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I just couldn't get to everybody, and apologize
yeah.
to
No,
Larry.
don't worry about it, because what I'm gonna do is a lot of guys just hit me up, because what we'll do, we're gonna have the Beard Gang. I'm gonna get with the time, and we'll just bring some people on and just kind of do like a open
Good.
forum.
Good.
So don't worry, we'll just carry it over tomorrow to that.
All right.
I'll work a time and I'll release and everything, but I can, I see where this is going. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do what we need to.
Good deal. Antonio, again, apologize, man. Couldn't get everybody on. A lot to say. I know we're all feeling a lot. Another thing I want to say, guys, it's a lot of arguments going on social media, whatever. Guys, we're same team. You know what I mean? Same team.
Same team at the end of the day.
You got people
yeah.
threats, and look it. We all care. We all love the Falcons, but it's not that serious to where you got to threaten somebody's life because they disagree with you. Look it. I love my Falcons. I really do. But guess what? Mr. Lightman, Mr. Bill Man, Mr. Gas Man,
Yeah.
Mr. Rent Man, Mr. Car Man, they still want their money, and life is going to go on, folks, whether we win or not. And again, I'm not being laissez-faire. I know we're hurting today. I know we're upset, but it is not that serious to where we got to get in fights and talk about people, and really, it's ridiculous. So
See,
if you're doing that, please stop it. It's not worth all of that. With that being said, guys, and we're going to close with this. Do you guys, and I'll start with, we'll go William, we'll go Mark, we'll go A1, we'll go C Dub, and is that everybody? Did I miss somebody? I can't see
I think Larry.
And wait, is Larry here?
No, I don't see it. I thought Larry was on the left side.
You said what? All right, so hey, William, did Raheem lose the locker room? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely. We need to fire Terry Fontenot and fire Raheem Morris and this whole coaching style. Just clean house, man. Just get somebody with some experience on both sides of the football. Be consistent. This is in the national football. You have to be consistent. That's all I got to say, man. You got to let go of Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris has been lost the locker room since that loss we just lost last night is over with. I don't think the players gonna play next week.
Gotcha. Ronnie Thomas, did Raheem lose the locker room? Ronnie Thomas. All right.
All right, Ron. Yeah, I think Ron's out.
Mark Cheney, did Raheem lose the locker room? Damn.
Yeah, Mark. Oh, I think I hear.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah. Was a question about the locker room?
Yeah. Did Raheem lose the locker room?
Yeah, man. I think unfortunately, he has. You know, I think like a lot of people in this city, you know, we want to support him. I think the reality of the situation is, man, he's in Atlanta. He's a black coach, first black coach in Falcon history. We want to see him have success. I don't think anyone is like rooting against him, but I think he's not qualified. I just think he's shown time after time he's not qualified for the position, and I just don't see why we are ready to give him another season, another game. Like he just hasn't been able to put it together. So I think if I'm a player, maybe he hasn't lost me completely because you know he seems to be a cool guy overall and care about the players, and you know I think he does care. But I think that you know no one can say we're more confident with Raheem leading us into any game, into any matchup. Like he just doesn't give us an edge. Like there's nothing that he gives us other than maybe the motivation throughout the week, and maybe he keeps us, you know, feeling positive and feeling good. But bro, when it's time to play, I don't see what edge Raheem gives us, and I think the players feel the same way. So I do feel like as far as this season, it's a wrap, and I don't really see I don't see what could happen in the offseason for him to regain the trust. It's the same thing with Dan Quinn in the Super Bowl, you know. But the one thing he had was Matt Ryan. He just came off an MVP season, and he had a lot of young pieces. The Falcons just don't have that. Like I don't think we have enough to believe. And then you got to think it's less about Raheem. It's really about the coordinators. I think Zach Robinson lost the offensive group, and Jimmy Lake. I mean, I still don't know how to feel about Jimmy Lake because how the hell you become a defensive coordinator after the bye week? Like how all of a sudden?
Agreed.
Like how all of because he's still calling the defense. Every time they show him, he's still calling the defense. So what's up with that? Like
I think I ain't mean to cut
a template to call from.
And I ain't mean to cut y'all off. I think Jerry Gray needs to go ahead. They need to go ahead and promote Jerry Gray as the coordinator because I think Jerry gonna go leave. I don't think Jerry gonna go stay. If they don't promote Jerry Gray and let him go, then the Falcons gonna be screwed. I put Jerry Gray as the defense coordinator and just let go Zach Robinson go to college, go on the college lead, and we just hire a offensive coordinator with coaching experience. If they want to get Raheem another shot.
A1 has he lost the locker room?
Not completely. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think he lost a lot. I don't. And I say that because it's instances to where we just had either bad quarterback play, what I'm saying, bonehead moves from the personnel, play call. It just been a overall, like every week it's been something different. Every week it's been something different. But I'm just thinking about overall, we've just seen worse situations. I feel like we've seen worse situations. We still going to have, like, I guess, a winning type record. Like, I don't know if you can even consider how they got the weeks now. It's hard to even like look at 8 and 9 and just be like, oh man, so or even 9 and 8 and just be like, yeah, we had 9 wins. Anyway, I'm rambling. Just to get to the point though, I just don't think that he's completely lost the locker room. He may have lost maybe a guy or two. You think about maybe a veteran who's thinking about their career and where it's going for the future, and it's like, all right, can this guy really lead us? But like you think about some of those younger guys, I don't think that he's necessarily lost the locker room completely. I feel like the Falcons are going to come out and play,
They're right here.
but I still think they're gonna come out and play for Raheem against the Panthers. Like I'm not completely sold that they're checked out. Like even though the situation is dire, the situation is almost impossible. But still feel like those players want to come out there and still play for them. Because if they come out there and show the opposite, then we gotta have a different conversation in the offseason. Like, all right, bro, see you. They ain't even come out to even show up on the field, you know. But until I really like see physically that the players are like, hey man, I'm not feeling this guy. It's like I just can't say that he's lost the locker room. I just don't see enough evidence.
Larry,
I see motive.
Yeah.
But I
Larry,
don't see evidence from the players.
Yeah, guys, everybody, we're gonna let Larry talk. Larry, you've been so patient. I apologize for whatever's going on with StreamYard. The floor is
Yeah,
yours.
it was acting crazy. I don't know what happened.
StreamYard took a break. They said we on Christmas.
But
they want to celebrate
appreciate
the
you
new year
having me.
already.
Larry, how
Appreciate you
you
fellas having me on, man. Like I always say, man, make sure you guys hit the like button if you're watching this content. It's real good. It helps all our channel. It helps us grow. That's just an algorithm thing. I ain't make it. I just follow the rules. All right, man. I really don't care if the players want to play for Coach Ra or not. Obviously, he's not getting the best production out of those guys. Some guys are nice guys, but never head coach material. That's Coach Raheem. Um, is he going to get fired? No, because he's first year coach. The optics of firing Raheem when you gave Arthur Smith 3 years is going to be horrible. But this isn't just a coaching problem, in my opinion. This is organizationally a problem. Right now, Terry Fontenot should not be retained. He won't be fired because he has no contract after this season. I've seen people tell me like, "Oh, well, you can't fire Terry right now because if you get a new GM, he might not want Penix, he might not want Raheem." Well, guess what? That's a natural order of things. When a bear want to eat a fish, he don't ask the fish if he's ready to be eaten. You know what I'm saying?
If it's
So
okay,
when
you
that
don't
salmon
ask them if it's
jump out the
okay.
water, he's snatching and bite it with his mouth. So to me, man, I just look at it like this. Top down, Arthur Blank, you know what I'm saying? I know so-called Rich McKay stepped away, but I mean, really and truthfully, if he's really out of the picture, then Ted Fontenot has no excuse, bro. He put us right back in the Matt Ryan situation. He traded away draft picks for Matthew Judon. He got Justin Simmons, who ain't won nothing, and has been a liability outside the Kansas City game. Uh, yeah, and we only got 4 picks because we tampered. So
yeah,
yeah, we gave away picks for Matthew Judon. So with that, man, all of that's fireable offense for Terry. I mean, me personally, once we lost that game, Terry would have got fired, for example. You know what I'm saying? I'm not waiting to Black Monday to release him because he has no more contract. I'm fired. And then I'm having my normal search, whatever firm, and then I'm getting me a real GM. And then it'll be his choice to keep Raheem Morris or not. It'll be his choice. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to. I'm sick of this trying to marry a coach that the owner like, and then trying to get a GM. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, I'm sick of that crap. We need to get a real team president so Arthur Blank can do what the Rooneys do and sit back and just sign checks and don't get involved. You know what I'm saying? Instead, trying to be Walmart brand Jerry Jones. Like, I'm sick of this, man.
Not great value.
I'm sick of this, man. Like,
call him value Jerry Jones? Oh my god.
look, guys.
Oh my god.
This isn't just about coaching.
Oh.
If it was just about coaching, because Raheem ain't ready to be a head coach. He's just not a head coach, okay?
Hell no.
Let's call it is what it is, but he's going to get at least 1 or 2 more years.
No, I say
Terry
1 more year.
The people that's trying to say that Terry Fontenot can keep his job just because he drafted Michael Penix and Bijan, that's mistaken. He's done way too much damage in the draft and with our salary cap. Yeah, he fixed our salary cap. That was nothing. Anybody, you could have did that, Will. What he did, all he did was just accelerate the problem. You know what I'm saying? And like Julio wanted out, Matt Ryan wanted out. He didn't do nothing special. Anybody with half a brain could have did what he did. But what he did in accepting Kirk Cousins' contract is put us right back in that situation without less draft capital than he had when he got here. He has to go.
I agree.
All right, fair
There's
enough.
no defense in it. There's no defense for him or Raheem what they did. For Raheem to go into halftime with 3 timeouts,
Was crazy.
like he was
Oh,
gonna get some free hot dogs with it
that
and
was crazy
redeem it.
work.
Or he's playing basketball. You know, in basketball, if you don't use your timeouts in the first half, they carry over in the second half.
Yes.
Yeah, he
We're
thought he
not
was a
playing
basketball
basketball
coach.
though, Larry. We wasn't
He
playing
thought
basketball.
he thought he was a basketball coach, and those timeouts, you know what I'm saying, carry over to the second half. That's some buffoonery.
Yeah.
And when I got my rookie quarterback, when we're rushing up and we got 2 timeouts, and you don't call a timeout, that's a fireable offense on a game that was winnable. So you would have had at least 3 more chances to try to get up there and score instead of 1 more play.
Yeah.
2 more plays. You would have had at least 3 downs to be able to do something, to get closer, because your kicker was dead on. He just needed to get 5 more yards.
That's it. That's all he needed.
He
Yeah.
needed 5 more yards.
That's all he needed. Because he
Yep.
drilled the kick.
Yeah.
At the end of the first half, we wasted 4 minutes, never called a timeout. And then literally we're playing so scary that we ran the clock out on ourselves.
That's what I was talking about, T. Will. That's
We
what I was
got
talking about
all
in
the
that
way
first
down
half.
there. Look, man, Coach Raheem ain't ready for that. He's sitting there chewing gum. He ain't calling defenses. He's sitting there with his hand in his pocket. It's worse than Dan Quinn, man.
And guys arm folded at that. He ain't even got us in the pocket. His arm folded like a little girl. You need time to communicate to your players.
All
You're a
right, guys.
defensive coordinator on a championship team.
Hey, I'm gonna have to cut it there, guys. I'm
All
so sorry. I
right.
apologize. I gotta go. C-Dub, I want to give you your last space though. Has Raheem lost the locker room? And then after that, guys, you can tell where they can find you. And I gotta leave because unfortunately I have to go. C-Dub, yes or no? Raheem lost the locker room.
All right. Yes, because when you have the game imbalanced the way you did, and you don't call the timeouts, you're not just not calling the timeouts for those guys on the field. You're not calling timeouts for that defense with their tongues hanging out. You basically sabotaged this game. And I don't care how everyone wants to tell me I'm wrong. Raheem has done nothing but sabotage Mike Penix. He wanted Kirk Cousins. I will die on this hill. If he had his way, if Kirk Cousins was the quarterback, he would have coached that game differently. And all I'm going to say is this. If he's such a great guy and everyone loves Raheem and all this camaraderie, why are we only 1 win better? Why?
And that, guys, that's a question we'll have to answer at another time. Larry, thank you for joining us. Larry, tell these folks where they can find you.
You can find me and my beautiful wife on the Dixon Way on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble, and Twitter. Doing live commentary. Please check us out tomorrow as I'll be going more in depth on the ineptitude of Coach Raheem. Thank you for having me on the platform.
No problem, Larry. Glad, and I'm so sorry I had to cut you off, man. I apologize because look, I respect.
No problem, brother. No problem.
Please don't take it as anything other. But I got to log in, brother. I got to.
Get out.
Hey, C-Dub, tell them where they can find you.
C-Double channel or the C-Double 28 channel. We're going to do the Beard Gang review. Larry, if you want to be a part of it, I'd love to have you on also. Maybe we can collaborate because of the fact that I know you're going to go deep into. You're pretty much going to do the same I'm going, is the ineptitude. So we're going to discuss a lot of stuff. Wednesday we may do a show, but that is New Year's Day, so just depends on how everyone's feeling. And but look, guys, you know where to find me. C-Double. Type it in on Facebook. You'll see my page, or you'll see me. And add me, hit me up. Let's talk football. Let's talk wrestling, and we can have a great time. So with that being said, Much love, Terry. Let's get going.
Let's get going. Good deal. Rise up. Hey, Ronnie Thomas, tell them where they can find you.
Okay, I'm not Ron Thomas, but I will just say it like this. You want to find Ron, all you have to do is come to the Atlanta Beard Gang. He'll be on that show. He'll also probably be with Pops and the Hemi Brothers. He'll be on Talk Your Ish on Tuesdays. He also always here on Fridays and on Mondays. And guys, I believe that's quite a few of his shows, so because he actually has cut down a lot. But yeah, guys, just to find Ron, just type in Ron Thomas and you'll find him.
Good deal. A1 from day one. Tell them where they can find you, brother.
YouTube, A1 Forever Sports. That's the platform on YouTube. Please come over, like, comment, and subscribe, man. Also Twitter and Instagram, A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Oh, hey, man. A1, look, man, anytime. You're like family, so shit, you don't have to do that, man. We're glad to have you anytime you come in. Hey, William, I don't know if you do any podcasts. If you do, let them know. If you don't, hell, it's good to see you anyway. You doing any podcasts, William, or what's the deal?
I ain't doing podcast, man. I was just gonna be at the one time club, man. Next year, hopefully, I'll be at the games next year, man. But man, disappointed season, man. It is what it is, man. I just hope we do better next season, and at least be top of the division. So that's all I got to say. I'm out, man.
Good deal.
Salute.
Thanks for joining us. Rise up.
Bye.
All right, to everybody out there in the chat, thank you so much. I think we had as much as 90 people in here at one time. What a time. What a show. Guys, wish we had more time. Apologize that I have to cut it off, but hey, man, I got to pay the bills. So, guys, to everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. Antonio, specifically, we will link up. I will have you on another show. I do apologize. I couldn't get you in on this one. Just time constraints were what they are. So again, I apologize. Again, to everyone who joined us in the chat, you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be with us today. Thank you for your time. Appreciate that. I can be found at One Time for the Fan on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights at 9, Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Also at Beer Gang with my co-host here, or actually it's his show, but I would say my co-host and brother and friend, Mr. C Double with all the trouble. And last but not least, I can be found on this channel at For My ATL Sports 1. Say the number 4, My ATL Sports, the number 1 at YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring content like this. I can be found at 7 p.m. on this channel, For My ATL Sports 1 at YouTube. Friday nights at 7 p.m. and Monday mornings at 10 a.m. And I don't know, C-Dub, maybe we co-host a show on Wednesday if people want. I don't know. But we can work it out. But either way, guys, thank you. I want to thank God. Would not be here without him. Thank God for every show. Thank God for everything. Appreciate you and everything that you continue to do, God. Worship you and thank you. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to Mr. Jack Spade and Mr. Eric Parker, without whom I would not be here. Shout out to Kerry from One Time for the Fan and Bodie 3000. Obviously, shout out to my guys, C-Dub, Ronnie Thomas, and Ladarius Brown and his band of renown, and Jabri Harper, Tiffany, and Lisa Shepard. So, Tiff Raines, by the way. You guys rise up, have a great week, and I will see you when I see you. Thanks for joining, and have a good day, everybody. Goodbye.
Peace.